All right,
amigos,
restart,
welcome to the Big Shot. I got some good bounties for you. First, we got Nick. He is a bounty of 20 million wulongs. He killed a hooker in Tijuana, back on old Earth. It's been a while.
Those eyes open.
We also got Danny the Fanny, also known as Danny Phantom. She haunted an old lady's house for a few years. It's a small bounty, just 1,000.
Oh, wow.
1,000 wulongs.
Danny, you need your intro. You gotta have your cool line.
I don't
Just say a couple random words, but in a cool voice.
No. I'm good.
And last, we've got
Granny
a big
panties.
bounty for you guys. 80 million wulongs for the one known as Phantasma Majestera.
I'm gonna cut you.
Oh my god.
Those are your bounties for today. Okay, see you later, cowboys.
Thanks, Kwoka.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
so
we're
stupid.
talking about Cowboy Bebop, Netflix today. Thank you,
And
Kwoka.
the old one.
And the old one a
little
little bit. Nick wants to more. So
I'm going to give a mini review. I'm just going to read off something.
It's kind of weird
That's
because
all
like
Nick
everyone
ever
already
does
loves,
is just repeat what he saw on YouTube.
everyone already loves that one, so it's like it's weird. But you know,
How else do
whatever.
I get my opinion?
But yeah, dude. Thanks, Kwoka, for being. Kwoka's decided to be wanted to be a guest on this one. I was like, dude, we're doing the Cowboy Bebop one. You got to be on the Cowboy Bebop one. And he was like, I'm home for a little bit from wherever he's doing his residency at, Singapore or Nigeria. I don't remember which one.
Singapore, yeah.
Nigeria? It's not even close.
How's it going over there?
Hot as balls, but I'm not there anymore. I'm in cold California.
But you're going
It's like
back.
58 degrees. It's chilly as balls here.
God, I would kill for that right now.
I wake up and have to break the icicle off my dick.
You but your partner didn't come with you, right? She didn't come with you, right?
No, she'll be here in another 2 weeks. Week and a half
okay.
now. Yeah, because we had planned to come back in December, but Singapore was like, hey, your visa was only for 33 months, and it's been 2 years. COVID's over. Get out.
COVID's go. Wow.
So you're not going
COVID's
back, or you are going back?
technically
That's what they said. They said COVID's over. Get out.
It's gone, Danny, okay?
So you are going back then, or no? Or are you here, like, you're back home for real, for real?
No, just for 2 months or so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Anyway,
Who wants
Kwoka's
to be
here to
in
help
America?
Kwoka's here to help us do this review for Cowboy Bebop. And just real quick, I'm not going to do no ad breaks for like the next couple episodes while I figure out some logistic stuff. I realized a little too late that it was just kind of like, I don't know, kind of a waste of time to be doing that. And people were telling me that, and I was like, well, I still do it because Anchor's going to fart and whatever. Yeah.
Dude, how else are we going to make 5 cents an episode?
Right, that's what I said.
I need my gumballs, Sam.
Either way, yeah, Nick likes to go for the Jawbreaker machines, and those are expensive.
So starting next week, it's going to be Patreon only.
The dollar one, the
We're
dollar
going
machine.
on OnlyFans. That's the only place to get it.
Oh, yeah. We're going to
OnlyFans.
microtransaction. Like,
But,
halfway through the episode, it'll be like, if you want the next half of the episode, buy more.
God. Like
Oh
DLC.
my God.
Anime Summit DLC.
Yeah,
If
Anime
you want
Summit
Nick's audio
deals.
track in this one.
Anime Summit gotcha. If you
But
want
I'm
our good
happy-
reaction, you need to roll the good gotcha.
But I'm also happy that Danny is back for this episode, too, because she hasn't been here for like the last 4 weeks. So that's great.
I can't do my Mickey voice anymore.
Yeah, she's still in the middle of doing some things, but like she couldn't not be on this episode, so
I have
There's
to be
that.
on this episode.
Yeah.
I have
Danny,
I have
much
frickin-
like-
She has a contractual obligation.
well,
Much like a Cowboy
I
Bebop
have-
character, Danny's going to show up for one episode and then peace out.
Danny probably loves Cowboy Bebop the most out of all of us. I think.
Danny is the heavy metal queen right now.
She is.
I'm sad that they didn't have that one.
Yeah.
They could have it for season 2
They could.
when they have Ed yelling in your face.
But yeah, dude, I'm excited to talk about it. So just real quick, patreon.com/anime summit. Go there, be square. Links.animesummit.net is where you can find all that stuff. Join the Discord. Hang out with us. That's my favorite link on there, by the way.
Do we
The
have a
Discord
fandom
link.
name yet?
I always just called them the Sexy Summit Squad, is what I called them.
The pedos? Can we call them the pedos?
Let's
No.
not do that. No.
Because they really
Um,
like feet.
Oh, like pediatrics. Oh, like that's different. Like
Oh yeah,
podiatrist.
yeah.
Like a podiatrist.
No, we're
pedios.
the Sam. We're the full on rapists.
God.
Oh, I think you
okay.
mean philanthropists. It's like Always Sunny.
I'll take the penis mightier.
The penis mightier. I'll
But
take
no,
S words.
you should also leave an iTunes review because iTunes reviews are cool too. So.
No, it's
Yeah,
Apple
we gotta do a
better
Podcasts,
job on
guys.
social
It's not
media
even
and
iTunes
promoting.
anymore.
Oh yeah, it's Apple Podcasts now.
Apple-
Sorry,
Apple Music Station.
Apple Music Station. I think
It's
you
not,
can
I
leave
just made
reviews
it
on
up.
Spotify too, can't you? If you can,
Yeah,
you should
and
do
directly
that.
on Anchor
Yeah, if you can, you should do that. That'd be great.
on the Spoopify.
Let's move on to listener question of the week, Nick.
This is from King of Telluride. Woo's the best anime fan? Whoa, I butchered that.
Who
What?
is whomst?
What
What?
is the best anime family? He really digs the Elric Bros from Full Metal Alchemist. What are our picks?
The Soma family. Easy.
Wait, which family? Because there's two Somas. There's the Shokugeki no Soma.
Oh,
and
sorry.
there's
Fruits basket.
How
From
about you
Fruits
elaborate
Basket.
next time, Sam, for all of us
Well,
newbies?
okay. People should know what I meant. Like, there's only two Somas in Food Wars. There's
For all the guys
Jeez.
who have never seen Fruits Basket.
No,
myself.
the best Animu family is the couple from I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying.
Oh shit, that's pretty good actually.
okay.
I'm gonna pick the found family of Jet, Faye, and Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
Otherwise known as Danagai Nani o Iteru ka Wakaranaiken.
Oh shit, dude. What about the family from Hunter x Hunter?
No,
the
the
assassin
Zoldyck family, yeah.
The assassin family. They're pretty cool.
The Zoldyck family, they're sick. I kind of
The
hate them,
couple
but they're
from
sick.
Boku no Pico.
Oh god.
What about you,
I'm trying to
Danny?
find like a CBR list. Oh, here we go.
Um,
Most iconic anime families.
I'm
Nick,
gonna
have you an
go
own opinion
with-
for once?
I'm gonna go with Belle Dandy's family. So like Belle Dandy or
From what,
Yeah.
Danny?
from Oh My
Okay, thank
Goddess. They don't really have like a last name because they're goddesses. So. I'll
But
just say
like, yeah,
Goddess
just like
family.
Oh,
their
dude.
their family, yeah.
Yeah.
The Shin-chan family.
Sama.
The Nohara
Isn't
family.
Sama their last name?
Oh yeah, the Nohara family.
I'm gonna pick that
Yeah.
in honor of our Discord patron.
Mostly business. Yeah, dude. I used to think I was the person who loved Shin-chan the most. No. Mostly business.
Yeah,
loves
not even
Shin-chan the most.
Sam, you might not even be top 3 because I think Fruit is in there too. So
I'm like top 5.
yeah, maybe. Wait
I was
till
in
I get in there,
Shin-chan.
then you'll be top 6. Okay, so
Wait
enjoy
till
it.
I get in there. So never. Got it. All right, Danny, since you're back for this episode, you can do the Waifu and Husbando again because you
Yeah.
haven't been here.
Yup. Waifu is Faye Valentine, and Husbando is Jet Black.
Danny,
Yeah,
you have to keep up with the
buddy.
times.
husband.
Now it's Valentinks.
Although
Yo,
my
God.
Husbando is
It's actually Jet African American now.
That's stupid. That's really dumb. Okay.
You know why it's Jet Black? Because he is black and he is male, and he is our husband.
that was such a terrible line.
yeah.
I laughed at that line.
I can't believe they put that.
Not because it was like offensive or anything. It was just bad. Like
It
it
was
was
so
bad writing.
cringy.
Yeah, it was cringy. Yeah, yeah. Mustafa Shakir and Daniela Pineda as Jet and Faye. They were fine.
Yeah, the cast was pretty good. I mean, the people who played the characters were mostly pretty good. So okay, maybe half of them were
How
pretty
about
good.
Sam, you give us a history lesson on the Netflix anime adaptation?
Yeah, so this adaptation was announced.
Oh, we're starting the main
20
topic, right?
Yeah, no. Anyway,
Tom,
so
I need you to
Nick,
say
we only
this
have
is
20
now,
minutes left. We have to talk about something.
This is now the main topic.
So, anyways, this development was announced. Honestly, like if we're being serious, like if I'm being real, it literally was announced like in 2002, 2001.
Oh yeah, it was gonna be a movie with Keanu Reeves or something.
With Keanu Reeves, yeah. Then obviously, no, right? In
2017, they announced it.
In talking, I was gonna get there. If you just let me do it, that'd be great.
The original came out in 1998, by the way.
Can you be quiet?
Shut up.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The announcement for the Netflix adaptation was in 2017, as Nick already said. And then later it was announced in 2018 that it was going to be on Netflix. So a partnership between Marty Adelstein and Sunrise Inc., developed by Tomorrow Studios.
With Yoko Kanno.
And Yoko Kanno doing the music. But yeah, like pre-production started, I think in 2019 or something like that.
I know they had a...
And
they had
everybody had high expectations.
Oh,
Yes,
August 22nd,
highest.
2019. They announced a lot of the cast. And then pre-production filming began July 2019 in New Zealand. And
Because
then
there was no
literally,
COVID there.
There was no Rona.
There probably still isn't. At least not much.
Then they continued, after the shutdown, they continued filming, after, when things started letting up again.
Well,
And then
also, John Cho got hurt.
So in October 2019, he has suffered a knee injury.
A meniscus. The meniscus.
Anyways, it set back production about 8 months, which later they found that was kind of a blessing because they ended up, introducing other characters that they were going to wait on for season 2, a planned season 2. They ended up filming 3 or 4 other episodes that were not shown this time around, so they could probably use them for season 2, which is cool. They introduced Gren earlier instead of later because of it. So yeah, it was kind of a
Who's Gren?
blessing and disgrace. Gren is
the character that they screwed up
How did they screw it up?
in the live action compared to the anime. Okay,
Gren was just there.
Gren is the one who yells "Yas Queen."
They really
and stands there.
They really didn't, give them a character really. Compared to the anime, they didn't really do anything.
They were in Jupiter Jazz. They were one of Vicious's comrades who got experimented on medically, so they grew breasts, and they ran into Faye and I think seduced Faye. And then there was a whole he had a bunch of revenge mission against Vicious and all this other stuff. There's a big backstory, and it was a cool character. And then in the live action, they're all right, she's our spunky character. I don't know, it just wasn't. They didn't do a whole lot with her. Yeah,
Can I just quickly point out?
I don't even remember who this person was.
Can I just quickly point out? I have nothing against anybody's sexual orientation or any part of which character is non-binary or not.
Sam is on the cast. I think we would not be here if that was the case, Danny.
No, I'm just saying I for example, Faye, is all of a sudden interested in women, but I don't really care about that. She could like women all she wants. To me, she was just not portrayed correctly. It's the same thing with Gren. I don't care if they're non-binary in the show. I find that amazing that they made them
they were non-binary in both shows. Both shows they were.
Right. So I don't care about that.
We're talking about how they were written in the live action.
Right,
yeah.
Correct.
They just kind of dumped them in there without much of a backstory.
That's my point on what I just want to get across from the very beginning before we really start to deep dive into this, because this is just a plain hot mess.
Well, I think so let's back up just a second
Let's start casting.
Before Kwoka and Nick crack jokes in the middle of really big points we're trying to make again.
As the podcast bigot, I for one hate diversity.
So let me just
I can't
back up
believe
a
they're
little
just
bit.
forcing all this homophobic lifestyle. I
Homophilic.
don't even know what I'm saying.
I don't even know.
Homophilic lifestyles.
Okay, so
Spike is white. Why couldn't they get
Please.
Scarlett Johansson to play Spike, or at least Tom Cruise?
why
please?
couldn't they get Chris Pratt to do?
Oh, Chris Pratt.
Why couldn't they get Chris Pratt to do Ein? This is bullshit.
No, he should have been. He should have been.
Vin Diesel should have done Ein.
No. Chris Pratt should have been Jet Black. No, Jack Black should have been Jet Black.
Oh my god.
So, just put the Nintendo cast into Bebop.
Dude, so
Oh my
here,
god.
let's back up a little bit before
Casting.
we get
Charlie
into...
Day is Faye.
No. Let's go round table really quick
Actually,
and say
he'd be Ed.
a quick initial thought of what we thought of the show, and then let's get into the meat, and then let's get into spoilers. Okay? So, and then I want Nick to be able to like talk about the anime a little bit as well in the middle of that. So, here's my initial thought of this live action. I had read an article like literally a month before it came out. I think someone in our Discord shared it. The article said something along the lines of, "Oh, this is going to be side stories that run concurrent with the anime, that run parallel with it." So I thought it was just
that's what
going to
we
be
all
all different.
wanted.
That's what I thought it was going to be because that's what that article said. It turns out that that's not what it is at all. It's actually a reimagining of the show, different stories. It's completely different.
It's like the same stories, but way different.
It's just reimagined to go a different way. Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
and that, in my opinion, that's honestly a little better because if they tried to do it a shot for shot thing, they would have ruined it and people would have been pissed.
Well, no, I was saying they should just do different stories. Just pick different things.
Nick, I would have preferred that too. I agree.
And they
with
could
that.
still have like the same like main things with like Vicious and Julia showing up once in a while.
Faye being like from the past or whatever.
Yeah, they could still do that stuff, but just like have it in the background and not like just rehash what's in the cartoon, you know?
Right. And so what they did instead was like, I'm glad it's not a shot for shot remake. I'm glad it's like a new remake, like a reimagined one. But I'm also still like, I would have preferred that it was what that article said it was. That's my initial thought. So what do you guys? Well, Nick kind of already said, but
First want to say I think the main casting pretty solid.
I agree.
Like Jet and Spike, I think perfectly fine, perfectly great even. Faye maybe a bit off, but still fine. Still, like I can see totally how that actress handles that character. I think that's fine. The one thing I really just initial stands out is just that it clearly didn't have enough budget, so that it ends up in this situation where a lot of the live action comes across as like very campy, and then the CG is like too polished, like where it's the low because they didn't have enough budget to make sure that this meshed together. Visually,
yeah, it's like Wheel of
like
Time.
the CG all stands out as like being a bit too clean.
Yeah, it's
So
exactly
it's
like
every
Wheel
bit
of
of CG is super obvious, while the actual live action has this like kind of like campy, low budget feel that the CG just doesn't match with really at all.
Yeah, and like Spike's outfit maybe was a little bit too clean at times. It looked kind of like cosplayers.
it was
some of the
very
time.
yeah. I was about to say that next.
Especially
It was very
Vicious.
cosplayed.
Like his face doesn't match the old Vicious, which like it's a cartoon, you're not going to look like that. But like,
Right, Alex Hassel. Yeah,
unless your name is like Timothy
I
Chalamet.
didn't remember
or something.
there was a Vicious in the show.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
because the show like they have Vicious and Julia as like they're just like rumors or ghosts almost, like they're barely in it, which is I like that better.
Because
And this one they're like they're the main story. They're in every other
Yeah.
scene.
it's Spike's past is like more the forefront of the story in this one than in the show or whatever.
Yeah.
The anime, I mean. So Danny, what about you? What's your initial thingy?
So
She hated it. Sorry, go ahead.
She hated all the lesbians.
So I watched this with James. Like James watched it with me.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Because you guys are like in the middle
Who's
of like
James?
moving and
My partner.
That's her new friend.
That's my new.
Ooh.
As the Joker would say, that's
do you
Danny's
touch-
squeeze.
Do you touch butts together?
No, dude, it's actually
Anyway.
the other way around. She touches his butt.
Yeah.
They don't push them up against each other?
So you watched it with James. James
Yeah.
has seen the original, right?
I think so, but I don't think he really remembers it because throughout the show, I was kind of pointing out like the differences on what was going on. Like,
Oh, so he hated you by the end of it.
no, but I was like pointing out some stuff. Like, for example, like Whitney in the anime was actually like a con man who was Faye's love interest, not a mother figure.
Not like an
kind of thing.
adoptive mother, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I like
I was
that
just
episode.
I was just pointing him like stuff out like that. And at the end, when we finished watching it, because we finished watching it on Sunday, and he asked me, he's all like, "So what did you think?" And I let out a big sigh, and I was all like, "If you're not an anime watcher, this would be something potentially really good that someone could enjoy who's not an anime person. However, like someone like me who really loves the anime
With
and for
refined
God's sakes,
taste.
like I have Spike Spiegel's Swordfish 2 tattooed on my arm. You know, there are definitely major flaws. So, and I mean, like after watching some from watching videos on YouTube on other people's opinions on them, and looking back at like how I watched it, I really, really did not like Vicious or Julia in this adaptation at all. Like it's like word vomit, and like I really wanted to just throw up anytime they were on screen and stuff.
Don't ever say I'm not man enough.
So
I think they only actually did bounty hunting for like 3 episodes.
yeah. And I mean, I definitely have other things that I really did not like about the show. Another thing that I was a little disappointed that the show didn't feel episodic like the anime did.
That's because American audiences are too stupid to understand unless you shove it in their face every episode. Hey,
Right.
this is
Well-
Julia and this is Vicious and they're bad guys and then there's good guys and then
Well, I mean,
the
that
good
was like
guys
the
and the
same
bad guys
thing.
got to fight and stuff.
That was like the same thing with Faye showing up at the first episode. It's all like, that didn't make sense at all, but okay.
Yeah, didn't you just like show up and then leave?
Yeah,
Like, hey,
she
guys,
showed
well-
up.
It was just,
She
the way they
showed
did it
up.
was like she's a bounty hunter too, so she just happens to be
Right.
looking
I
for
think
the
that
side.
part's
But we
probably
can
fine, though.
we
Yeah,
can
it's not
we
the
can
worst
go
thing,
through
but-
that like later on. But I mean, I loved the one thing that I did love was the music. Like hands down, fucking Yoko Kanno always
Another banger from Yoko
solid
Kanno.
banger on the soundtrack. So that was fine. I mean, like I did enjoy some parts of it. There was some like funny moments. Mustafa Sakar was an amazing Jet.
He even sounded like him too.
like, dude,
Oh,
he
yeah.
sounded
He's the
just
best
like
one.
him,
Yeah.
and I was just like, okay, he's perfectly
I looked up
cast.
whether or not he was the voice actor.
Yeah, for real.
I'd be like, is
he did such an amazing job portraying that character. So I did not. I mean, I liked Annie. Well, even though her name is Anna in this one, I did like that she was a club owner versus her anime version where she was just a convenience store owner and stuff. I did like the club version of that. So,
I
mean,
don't know.
I
but the
didn't.
club was
I
okay.
didn't. I definitely did
fine.
not love this show, but I mean, again, like, I don't know. I'm really like on the fence. I mean, I feel like I definitely have a lot of issues that I did not like, but I mean, again, there were some parts that I did enjoy, but there are definitely major flaws in this show for sure. So.
I would say all the stuff Kwoka pointed out, and like, yeah, the writing was kind of.
The writing was super sloppy. You know, like I feel like they in the in the credits, like they said that Watanabe was a creative consultant, but I really doubt that they really paid attention to any of his notes.
Well, the problem is like the original Bebop borrowed from like Western media and just other media, but this one is just taking from Bebop. So it just comes across as like a little too incestuous. Right. It's like too much of the same thing like mixed together.
I think the writing for the main characters was good. Like dialogue and stuff was good.
Yeah, their dialogue was like probably the best part.
I do want to say another thing that I liked was their adaptation of the Bounty Hunter TV show Big Shot. Like that was
they only did that one once. But
that was
twice.
Awesome. Like their portrayal was really, really good.
Oh, maybe it was twice. Yeah.
I don't know. In the live action, she had smaller boobs.
Yeah, that's true. She didn't have giant
2D pig,
bazonka
disgusting.
I will say that I agree that the cast is really sweet. The main
three are good. And
I
like
mean,
a few others.
I like the rest. I like the rest of them. I didn't really like Vicious as much as.
That's what I'm saying. Like Vicious and Ed, especially.
I don't think
Vicious
their
and Julia
casting.
were the
I think
worst
Ed
ones.
is like one of those impossible to adapt characters.
Yeah. Well, we can get to that later.
Yeah, because that's kind of spoilery, I guess. But like,
you're listening
Ed
to this. You've
is in
seen
the
it
show.
yeah. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you've seen it already. But like,
we're gonna spoil. We're saying it now. There's spoilers.
Yeah, there's gonna be spoilers. But Alex Hassel, right? He does look like an evil-looking motherfucker.
Who's that?
He
Like
does,
Vicious,
but I
right?
feel like
But he should be hot. He should be hot evil.
That's the character for Vicious, just to be clear.
Yeah, Vicious. Vicious is like
Sid Vicious.
He's like silver baddie hot, and then in the live action, he's like
a Final Fantasy in the
like
the
psychopath.
in the live action. In the live action, he's hot, just not as vicious. It's like
he has daddy issues and he's childish.
Yeah,
he's like Joffrey or something. I don't know. He's just always angry and violent. He's a good actor. I mean, but I mean, some of the stuff they made him do was like a little too much. But
personally, I really did not feel threatened or terrified anytime Vicious came on screen.
Yeah, because it's so obvious what he's gonna do. Like he just doesn't. He's like a bull in a china shop, kind of. I don't know. It's just always violence with him, and it's not like cold and calculating like the original one.
Right. Yeah.
There's no mystery. There's no mystery to him either. They just spell everything out. They just like shove it in your face.
I did find myself watching the show like slower and slower as it was more and more about Vicious and Julia, just because like that wasn't really what I signed up for.
That's not what Cowboy Bebop is even about. Like that's kind of like Spike's arc, but you don't watch it for that. Like I don't know.
Well, as soon as that's what I was gonna say next was, as soon as I realized that it was not what I thought it was, and it actually was like a reimagining of the show, I was like, okay, so this is going to be different, and I have to accept it as such. I'm not going to like try and.
I assumed it would be a little different.
Well,
they got to the end.
Right, but here's my take. Here's my take, though. I honestly thought the show was not bad. I thought it was pretty enjoyable, and I also think
I agree with your hot take.
The set design was really good, and my take is this. I don't know if it's really hot, but like my take is this. If they adapted it straight up, like tried to do it straight up, it would have been really bad. They would have fucked it up. So
they kind of did. So like when they borrowed from the episodes, like with the oh god, what's the episode name? The first episode with the red eye.
I thought that was pretty good.
Well, no, because they just spell everything out. Like in the original, they got like a moment of silence where they got meaningful looks at each other, and like there's like space to like think about things and all that. And it's like this one, they just talk everything out.
First
so.
episode was Asteroid
Blues. There we go.
I'm literally wearing a T-shirt that has all the names of the episodes.
This is like one of the only shows where like that
Super fan
names.
Danny.
It's like Cowboy Bebop and Kill la Kill have like cool episode names.
Name a Kill la Kill episode, Nick.
I don't know.
He can't even name characters.
There's the one from the
names, for
Berserk
crying out
soundtrack.
loud.
Tell me why.
Name a Kill la Kill character, Nick.
I
don't know.
I will say too that I appreciate that the episode names on the Netflix one were similar too, by the way. But like, I here's the thing. Y'all must have did it wrong then, because if you went in thinking it was gonna be some kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, I guess I'm just one of those people who.
I had no
I assumed
doubt
it would be
that
different.
they were gonna that like I did not assume that they were gonna try to readapt like frame for frame do Cowboy Bebop. There's no way that they can do that. Like, for God's sakes, like you can't portray Ein as like this kind of like witty character that they did in the anime, and you for sure cannot adapt Ed as
you can't do Ed
how
at all.
Ed is
way.
in the anime at all. Like, you can't have a character with like wormy arms or anything like that.
The way they should have done it is like
just put an inflatable flailing arm, flailing tube man.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that I was expecting anything. I knew I was not going to get like what the anime is and stuff. Like, I knew that. I was just expecting them to do like what you thought in that article that you read, Sam, was they were going to do different like bounty hunter stories and all that kind of stuff, and then maybe sprinkle in some of Spike's past and like Faye's past and Jet's past. But they didn't even do that. They literally
they just reimagined like every character.
They rewrote all of the characters. Like,
every character. Especially Julia.
Character. Yeah, Julia and Vicious both like poorly written, absolutely, because in the anime, Vicious is supposed to be this, shadow guy. Like, he is a very threatening, very vicious character, because anytime you see him on screen, he's gonna do some shit. Like, he's gonna kill somebody.
He's
and
like
with Julia,
he's like the SRX from Metroid Fusion. Like, you see you walk into the room and you're like, oh shit, and you try to hide.
Yeah.
Like
right.
This one you're like,
you are feared. You are feared anytime he comes up on
SAX.
screen. But with and then there's Julia. Julia, she's like this jazz singer, kind of sort of damsel in distress in a way. And then all of a sudden, like, she has like an awakening. And then she has like an awakening at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden she has a purpose in this show. Whereas in the anime, we kind of don't know what happened to her. We knew that she was Spike's lover and everything like that.
Well, in the show, it's Spike's vision of her. It's like an idealized version of Julia that like nobody really even knows her name.
But we don't really know, we don't really know her too much, because like she's kind
it's a male power fantasy.
She's kind of portrayed as like a ghost, angel. Really.
She's Spike's waifu.
But like, I don't know. Like, I really, and don't even get me started on how Faye's
I won't get
character
you started
was
on
written
it,
and everything like that. Like,
so what I'm trying to say is that it's unfair to compare the two. They're different. They're just different.
Well, it's perfectly fair. It's called the same thing. It's the same
no,
name.
Yeah, no,
like,
dude,
not compare it.
No, yeah, I get that, but I mean, in terms of like, you can say it's bad, obviously, because it, whatever. But like, what I'm saying is, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too forgiving. Maybe I'm just like, because as soon as I saw what it was,
soft.
As soon as I saw what it was, that's how I was like, okay, and then I'm going to enjoy it this way then, because
I think pretty much everything outside of the Vicious and Julia arc was fine. if not enjoyable.
Yeah, I mostly agree with Kwoka there. Yeah.
If they
It's,
would
a
have
decent,
the
it's
same.
an okay, decent show if they just didn't name it Cowboy Bebop. It's kind of like
If
Fooly
they-
Cooly. It's like,
if
just
they
don't name
would
it
have
that.
if they would have done more bounty episodes.
Yeah, that's
more
what I wanted to
episodes-
see.
Yeah.
More, that's like literally that's what I wanted to see. Like I wanted to see more of them trying to catch bounties. I would have loved to see more cockpit and like space kind of battles in a way.
Yeah, that's expensive, though.
yeah,
They probably
that
didn't have
was-
enough budget. It would have been nice if they did that.
But all we
Seems
got
like
was,
I may not be a
lot
super
of-
fan like Danny, but like so I noticed some of the character differences. Obviously, like Jet having a child. Spoilers. That's like the first 2 minutes.
Oh, it's so funny.
And-
Glass Reflection pointed
but I
out
think
that
most of
Jet
that's
is
all,
just
like-
Ant-Man.
I mean,
But all
It's
that
the
that stuff
same
still
story
felt
arc.
like fine to the characters. Like it was one of those things. I was like, I don't really remember that, but it didn't feel like it was wrong. Like it didn't feel like inherently
Yeah, the Jet thing felt
wrong to
fine.
who they were. So I mean, most of the other stuff, it was just, fine. Like the characters felt, like when a lot of times I've seen like live action stuff where you see the character and you're like, oh, it doesn't even feel like the character. These ones all, like the main characters all felt like who they were supposed to be. I mean, you get that a little bit of just because it's not an anime. It's obviously not the same thing. Because anime's got big boobs and butts going everywhere, and Netflix doesn't want to do that as much anymore. But unless it's 12-year-old girls, but that's a different topic.
Oh, are you talking about cuties?
God. Don't get
They
started
should have
on
got
it.
one of those actors for Ed. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, shut up, Nick. So like, fucking god damn it. I agree. I will say this. If I had to,
Do you
like,
agree with
critique, like,
12-year-old girls
no,
shaking the butts?
nobody agrees with them. They don't know what they're talking about.
I agree with the character writing because like Faye's thing, which I do appreciate that it was a VHS player. In the anime, it's a beta
But they
player.
definitely
you
did
know?
not film whatever that was on a tape.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
It's still like
Betamax
4K.
is a better format than VHS.
No,
Like,
VHS.
well, I'm gonna stick this dusty old VHS into my old broken little VCR. It's 4K video coming out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But yeah, like
Special VHS, okay?
I did like Faye. I like Faye's thing. I like Jet's thing with his daughter. But like when it came to the trio, Vicious, Julia, and Spike, or the Fearless, is what the name they gave him.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Vicious
God,
and
that
Fearless.
was terrible.
Quick question. What is everybody's Bebop name? Mine is Flatulence. Not
Anyway,
Flatulence!
so-
He's coming for us!
It's supposed to be an
Ah!
adjective, not a noun, Nick.
Flatulator. I don't know.
So, anyways,
Flatulent. There you go.
when it came to
Gassy.
those three,
Gas.
when it
Gas.
gassy, assy, and
Sassy.
flaccid. Okay, so when it came to those
Your
three,
name would be Stabby.
when it came to those three,
It's my stabbing.
Shut up, Nick.
when it came to those three, I did not like it. Because, like, okay, the flashback episode pissed me off the most, which is the second to last episode.
It was bad.
It was dumb. Like, because so Vicious was going being an idiot, a stupid idiot, ruining fucking everything up. And so then the boss tells him,
It was
Spike,
really weird that like we didn't get to see the deal.
right, yeah,
Like,
we
he
didn't
just comes
see what
back. He's
happened.
like, "Oh yeah, I like killed him or whatever."
You fucked it up, yeah,
what?
right.
Like,
So then Spike literally you you literally can't see how much problem this guy is causing literally you and everyone. Just cut his neck right now. And then he decides not to, and now we have to watch this whole fucking show
Sam, that's
about
because
Spike.
he-
this whole show happened just because he didn't.
Nick, shut up. Okay,
That's
shut
because
up.
Vicious saved his life. He's loyal.
Shut up, Nick. That's the problem. Is like, I mean, like, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So dumb.
He's
I
got
hated
Stockholm
that.
syndrome, bro. He's Vicious is his buddy. They
No, I
go
don't
on
care.
killings together. It's great.
Spike should have killed him then, and that like that's.
Logically,
I feel like
yeah.
feel like in the thing that Nick. Okay, I'm trying to make a point. I know you're fucking around, but you're being a bitch. So like,
I'm kind of half serious actually.
No, I get what the point was. I get what the story is. I get it. He's his brother. Oh, fuck you, whatever. But like, literally, 90% of the problem is because you were too busy being a bitch and messing around with other people's girlfriends and shit like that. You could have just minded your business, and you would have been fine. Instead, you're out here running
but that's
around.
not sexy. That's not film noir.
You're fucking over. You're fucking over the people who care about you the most, which is Jet and Faye, and Ein, Dogface Johnson.
Okay, I got another thing to say about some of the effects, right? So, like, the premise of the technology in Cowboy Bebop is like similar to Firefly, where it's like this kind of the bare minimum technological advancements have happened that allow the space travel and the terraforming. But generally, people's normal everyday technology is supposed to be like 90s level, right? And we've seen in like the way that different media has tried to handle technologies in this way. Like, you know, you watch 2001: A Space Odyssey back before like you had normal computer screens. They just have like lights on boards that's trying to emulate the future of technology.
Oh yeah, like Star Trek.
And we've gotten to a point in CG where it's like we can, you know, Minority Report and stuff, we can imagine and visually represent any future technology that we can imagine. Like we can visually create that for a screen. But then this does that. It's going back to the 90s technology, which is cool. But then all the displays are all like still very, you know, it's like it has the old, you know, the faded plastic shell, but then it's like a 4K display with perfectly smooth animations at like 140 hertz.
They need that steampunk.
Like,
okay, it's got to look cool. It's got to look rustic.
Like, just make some actual, like, you could probably find some of those old actual displays and even put out like, you know, a modern computer, hook it up to it, and have it at least kind of look like this, you know, to fit the aesthetic. It's just very weird to have it be this like clearly old technology, like the VHS thing, where it's like this old piece of crap, and then it's like perfectly clean and clear and high resolution, except for they put a little bit of static in one spot. Or it's like on some of the displays, they use like two colors to make it kind of look like a display that might have been in the 90s, but then it's like it's too clean in every other way.
It's like the technology was cosplaying as other technology. Would you say that?
Much like the actors were just cosplaying as these characters.
It's a metaphor.
And the director was cosplaying as someone that knew what they were doing.
They did use a lot of Dutch angles.
That was probably the only part of like the set design and production or whatever design and prop design that I didn't like, because I feel like the cell phones were really weird. They were just like these little. They almost looked like the beepers that you'd carry in the 90s with this little screen.
But then they had like an Apple Watch screen on them.
You could have Game Boy.
Why not just make them smartphones? Why not just have them be smartphones?
No, because that's not Bebop. Okay, that's what is it? Star Trek is James
Have
Bond.
It be an old Nokia. No, like a Samsung like S21 Ultra, but it has just the two-tone display from like a Game Boy, and it's like 72 pixels across.
Yeah.
Yeah, the LCD. You know,
so make it a foldable phone. Those hideous foldable phones.
But like, yeah, no, I other than that though, I loved that they had their little box TV with the glass, you know, screen thing, and I loved the inside of the Bebop was sick. The inside of the ship with the teddy bear bomb guy was really fucking cool. And Anna's bar, the jazz bar, obviously was super sick. I love the way that was laid out. And Anna's office was fucking dope. God, that would be such a sick office.
You press the button and it opened the screens.
And then, like, she got a little liquor cart, you know?
Yeah, you know,
a little liquor cart.
It's just like a film noir office, pretty much.
Yeah, but it was just like the
way... What was the deal with the super crazy assassin? Like, he just got stabbed a little bit and then cried and he floated up into the sky?
Oh, that's Pierrot LeFou.
Oh, Pierre LeFou, yeah.
I just mean, like, story-wise, it felt very weird. Because then he's also like, I killed him. It's like, no, you didn't. He just kind of floated.
I think he.
Isn't he going to come down in like 20 minutes? Like what?
It was all. No, I think it was like he floated all the way into space and then died in the vacuum of space.
I know, but it's just like this very implied. Like,
well, in the anime, he gets crushed by the parade.
Yeah.
But I just want to say the shot where he is looking at the clown in the box, and then it like does the reflection of the clown's face over his face, and then he moves. It's pretty crazy. That's a pretty crazy shot. It looked good.
Yeah, I
Very
mean, I think
creepy.
the actor was pretty good for
I
Pearl
just
of
meant
Food.
like the shot, the cinematography of that shot itself was.
One of the main issues with the show in general is the episode length. They're double length episodes, and regular Cowboy Bebop was nice and bite sized.
If not
Anime
triple
length,
length.
20 minutes. They get in,
actually,
they
some
get
of
out.
them-
It's tightly done.
Some of them were 60 minutes, and then a few of them were 37 minutes. Like you're just
Yeah,
like, what are you
that's fine.
What are we doing?
Well, that happens all the time, but it's like, it's like they. It's hard to make an episode that tight in that long of a time span. Like an hour it's way harder to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand why they had trouble
Yeah,
with
just
that.
give us 16 23-minute episodes.
They did the Pearl of Fu thing, and it's like his episode was 20 minutes, and they stretched it out to like fucking 45 minutes.
I like
We
that
don't need
they,
45 minutes of that guy. We're good with 20.
I do like that they remade the like backflip juggle thing that he did to Spike. Even though it looked
Yeah,
kinda
they did it
goofy.
with the
Oh, that
shadows.
was bad.
Yeah.
That looked
The
really
Yeah,
CG
well,
looked
because
really
you know
bad,
that.
but
Yeah, you know they weren't going to show it because it would have looked worse.
Yeah, the CG on that was bad, but I just like that they did it. But like,
They didn't make him like
Um,
fat and jolly enough, you know. In the anime, he's jolly, and it's just a total mystery. It's just like a random fucking guy. Like he's not connect in the
Yeah.
show. They connect him to the syndicate. They give him all this fucking backstory. We don't need his fucking backstory. We need his like crazed fever dream as he's getting smacked. Okay,
that's the one part I didn't like about it was
I don't
like,
need to be told everything.
It turns out
I
that
like
like
mystery.
that Ein they downloaded Pierre LeFou's memory in Ein.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because Ein is just supposed to be like a super intelligent super dog, right?
He's a data dog.
But they had to connect him to this somehow, and I just didn't like that. I wish
I mean,
they
it
would have
makes
just left
sense
him
how
to
they
be a
connected
dog
it.
face.
It's like, okay, syndicate, he's an assassin to go after Spike, blah blah blah. But like, it's
just meant
cooler if you
Ein,
don't know
but
that.
yeah.
You know? Well, yeah, Ein, yeah, sure.
But yeah, no, I agree with Nick. I wish that he was just like some random fucking bounty that came about and was just trying to fucking kill
Well,
them
he
or
wasn't even a
something.
bounty. He was just a fucking guy.
In the anime, he wasn't a bounty. Yeah,
he was
just
like
some
a
guy.
random assassin. Had nothing to do with Spike. I mean, maybe he was connected to the syndicate, but like,
Maybe that's where
Maybe
they got the
not.
idea from the actual writing.
because what happened is like Spike could have just left Pearl of Fu. He didn't have to go back to him. Could just fucking ran away. They didn't have to go to him.
Hey, I'm gonna kill everything you love. I don't know anything about you, but
I don't know you.
That's my purse.
That's my purse.
but the dog can project my face out of his eyes.
Yeah, dude. Just getting into the last episode talk here, just to kind of round off my opinion. As much as I enjoyed it, I do not like the ending.
Oh yeah. So
I
the
hate-
I
ending,
didn't really like the
Julia
last 3 episodes.
Julia decides she
I-
wants to be the head of the syndicate.
Yeah,
And like they do the Battle of the Fallen Angels as the final episode, kind
Yeah.
of. And it's like fucking like they do some of the same shots with like in front of the stained glass with the sword and the gun and the church, and they play the song, whatever that song's name is. And what's the
One
song?
Winged Angel.
It's like
I think it's
something
called
bird.
Battle of the Fallen Angel or Bird or
No,
something like
it's
that.
something bird. It's free. We're gonna call it Freebird.
Birdface Johnson.
No Stairway.
Denied.
I'm just looking at the song.
No stairway. Denied.
And that wraps up our Cowboy Bebop special.
No. So
See you later,
so while-
Space Cowboys
while
and
Nick
girls,
is looking that up,
cow thems,
Why is it so
While Nick
fucking
is
hard
look-
to find a fucking answer? Goddamn Google, you fucking piece of shit.
cow folk.
while Nick is looking that up, I'll just say
It
this.
doesn't
So like,
matter. It's the song. Greenbird.
so-
Greenbird. Okay, there
Greenbird,
you go.
yeah.
Yoko Kano, by the way. We haven't mentioned her once, and she's like literally half the reason the
I
cover.
Yoko
mentioned her.
Ono.
What the
Kwoka-
fuck?
Kwoka
What
and
the
Danny
fuck are you
mentioned
talking
Well,
her
we haven't
early
mentioned her
on.
twice.
Yoko Ono.
Okay, so
Oh god,
Yeah,
she
like-
is like 1,000 times better than Yoko Ono.
like at the end, like so Julia interrupts like the quote unquote final fight between Vicious and Spike.
Look at me, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, and she basically just does that. She shoots Spike out the window, and then knocks out Vicious, heals him up, ties him to like a thing in some like boiler room, and then just leaves him there. And now she's the head of the syndicate, and then that's it. And then like Jet is like, dude, fuck you, I'll never
That
see my daughter again.
Sure is a storyline.
And then Spike is
Well,
like
we
depressed.
do have to mention that last episode, instead of Vicious kidnapping Faye so that Spike can go save her, Vicious decides to kidnap Jet's daughter, and then that's how Jet is not going to be able to,
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think that kind of worked out. The thing is,
That
they had
kinda
to
worked
they
out.
had
I
to
feel like
get
that was
all of
fine.
them. They wanted to get all of
Yeah.
them in the same room, like on the same screen. They always fucking do this shit with live action stuff. They're like, we need the shot of all the characters standing next to each
Right.
other, So they do that because, like in the anime, they're not even in the same room. Like none of them are in the same room.
So, and then
well, there are some.
Like at the very end, they're in the same room, but that's it. So
okay, so then the very ending of it is Spike is depressed. He gets drunk. He falls over an alleyway, and Ed is like, "Hey,
he's not
Spike
depressed.
Spiegel."
He's like fucking like dying. He's not depressed.
I mean,
son. He's like
no,
he's dying.
He's not dying, dude. He
trying to
clearly
kill
was
himself.
fine.
He lost a lot of blood, son. He got shot like a billion times.
Dude, he walked all the way back to the Bebop and walked all the
Also,
way back to the bar. He's fine.
How did he fell out that window into the ocean after getting shot multiple times?
But he walked back to the ship.
He walked
man.
all the way
He
back
walked
to the
back.
Bebop and all the way to the bar. He's fine.
He just walks back there fine. Like he fell like 15 stories into the ocean. Did he
Doesn't
even
matter. Shut up.
Did he even enter correctly? Did
But
he
then
like twist his
best
feet so that his
girl
balls didn't
Ed
get
shows
split?
up.
So then Ed shows up and
He
says,
belly flopped
"Hey,
into the ocean from like
Shut up,
5
Nick.
stories.
Okay.
That's gotta kill you. That break
Okay,
his back.
enough. All right, enough.
yeah, very funny. Okay, good job." So like, then Ed shows up and says, "We have to catch Vincent Villaju, the Butterfly Man." And for those of you who don't know who that is, that's the villain in the movie Knocking on Heaven's Door. So they already set it up for
Knock, knock,
season 2.
knocking on heaven's door.
Which, like, if that's going to be all of season 2,
No, they're gonna make a movie.
No, it's gonna be like probably one episode.
I would hope
Tom,
that
it's like
just
45-minute episodes. They're gonna have plenty of time.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, you don't know what the Netflix is.
Oh yeah, they might do like the long running thing, like Vicious.
You never know. Yeah, they might
They're
just
like,
drag
Vincent
it out.
is,
somehow.
is this season's big bad? Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like monster of the season. I don't know.
Hey, as long as they do more bounties.
It's gonna be an entire 6 years of movies.
Okay,
Hopefully
the
they
Marvel
listen.
way.
Hopefully they listen to the feedback of people who watched it, and
Can I just?
Okay, what are your final thoughts on this?
yeah,
thing?
final thoughts.
Well,
Danny,
let me
go
talk
ahead.
about Ed. We gotta talk about Ed real quick.
Okay.
Why?
Ed's fine.
They weren't
Ed's perfectly
even in
fine.
the show.
It sucks.
Ed's fine. Totally fine. Like the character's
God.
just an
Look,
untranslatable
Ed-
character.
Ed is how
There's-
I would imagine people with kids feel like. They get woken up at 5 a.m.
There was no.
Time to
there was
wake up!
not. There was not going to be
Like,
any
that's-
good way
that is-
to adapt Ed, so they just did it
Yes,
straight
there
up.
is. Glass Reflection posted a video, and he said they should have just made Ed a computer.
No,
That would've been perfect.
He said,
And then they like find
said-
Ed as like
No, no,
a
no, no.
sealed
He
off thing,
said-
and then they open up the casket. Boom! It's just a cartoon. Perfect.
He said that, but he believes that no one is gonna like that. And personally,
I would like
I
it.
agree with him. I would not like that. Me,
I feel like it's a
how
nobody's gonna
how
like.
I would want Ed to be portrayed. I mean, I definitely would not want to see her as like literally what they showed us, which is this over exaggerated, over hyper child.
You mean an
who's
exact
just-
human
who is
replica of the cartoon
literally,
character?
yeah, it's literally just a cut and paste of.
Oh, it's a
of
much worse.
Ed.
Oh, God. It doesn't
So,
translate.
But personally, me, I mean, obviously still have Ed as a hacker and everything like that. But like,
But
I don't
instead
know.
be
I
quiet
feel
and
like
reserved.
they definitely could have made Ed a
Reserved.
little bit more of like slightly childish, but also just like a little bit more calm,
A
maybe.
little more rounded.
God,
Yeah.
and don't the
Yeah.
first
Little
scene is
bit more
Ed.
realistic.
Ed's face just close up right in your grill, and you're like, oh, I can smell his breath.
There is also no reason for Ed to have like those weird that hair. Like you can still have Ed as a messy hair, but not
Without having it be
I didn't
like
care about that.
the clown from It.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
that was like how they dyed Kirsten Dunst's hair for the first Spider-Man movie. Just like this
Yeah,
not
that's
realistic
super
red at all.
red,
Yes.
yeah. But I
But
want
it's
to.
also the future. People
talk
can
about.
have hair whatever color they want.
I want to
That's
talk
true.
about Faye for a second. Because I feel like she's a super important character in the show, and
I disagree, Dan. I'm
although
just kidding.
although Daniela, I forget her last name,
Pinata.
Elizabeth Olsen.
I condemn her for portraying Faye. I feel like she definitely
Wait, you condemn her?
tried.
commend
I mean,
her or
commend
condemn
her.
her?
Sorry,
Because that's the opposite
Okay.
meaning.
You commend her for playing, yes.
I don't have any fault on Daniela on portraying Faye. I have the problem with the writing because that's what the script was given to her, and that's how they portrayed that person. However, my big issue with Faye is that she wasn't a femme fatale. I don't care about her costume. A lot of people were really pissed about that when they showed the costume design for everyone. I don't care about her costume. Like,
The
fucking-
actress is too thick to wear the same actual outfit.
Yeah,
they
she
well,
is
not only
small.
that,
She's like short
not
too.
only that, but fucking latex is really super uncomfortable to wear. Like, cosplayers, they're just standing in one place, so that whole like fake cosplay is fine. But when you're acting and doing all these acting shots in latex, that's super uncomfortable. So I'm fine with her costume, but my real big problem is that Faye was not a femme fatale, and that really. I was genuinely really sad about that.
She was like me. She reminds me of myself. in a bad way.
I
Please stop
did
saying
not
that.
understand why Faye was a bounty hunter.
Yeah, exactly.
When
Can
we
we
first
talk
meet,
about that?
when we first meet Whitney, like I thought it was really cool that they switched Whitney's character to be an adoptive mother. That's fine. I was okay with that. What I wasn't okay with was when Faye got out of her cryo sleep. There was no like debt or anything like
Yeah,
that.
so
Just did not
there's no
exist
commentary.
at all. There was
the
no
problem is in the anime they don't, or in the anime she has a reason to be a bounty hunter. She's got to make a bunch of money.
right. She
Yeah,
And
has
she
no
gambles
reason
to make more
be
money, and yeah,
Right.
she doesn't trust
She
anybody.
has no reason to be a bounty hunter in this show. So, and that really disappointed me. I understand that, like, she was trying to find, her identity and everything like that. That's all well and fine. However, but Faye in the anime, she didn't really let that phase her. She just like moved on with her life. And I feel like that, I mean, it's the same thing with Spike. Like, Spike moved on. Like, he literally just like they literally have no money, so they obviously have to do all these bounties so they can get money. But usually that fails, especially with the Bebop and everything like that. So, but they move on, and literally what Spike says, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, that's like
And-
his most famous line.
Yeah. So, and that's my big problem with Faye, and even Spike for that matter. Like, I love John Cho. I think he did a great job portraying Spike, but to me, honestly, this Netflix Spike, he's a fucking pussy. All right? Like, I
In the anime,
literally
he's kind of a bad guy a little bit.
He's more like, he does not care. He does not like dogs. He doesn't like kids. He doesn't like
He's
women
an asshole.
with
Kinda.
like literally he's a fucking asshole.
That's my
Like,
favorite line.
He's
So
an incel.
I was listening to this other podcast, Lunchbox Radio, and they described Faye perfectly. They called her the manic pixie dream asshole instead of the manic pixie dream girls, because that's kind of what she is. in the show.
Chanel.
Faye in the
Yeah.
Netflix, she's just a big potty mouth, and she has.
She's kind of. I mean, she's a good actor and she's funny, but it's just like it's not Faye.
I just like
It is and it isn't.
I was just really disappointed with the writing for Faye. I would
it's
have
all the
loved
writing.
to see. I would have loved to see her as like this manipulative,
Yeah, like
gambling,
like she cheats Jet out of his
femme
stuff.
fatale.
And
Yeah,
she's like
like,
always trying to like
I-
scrimp and like steal stuff from
I
the
would
Bebop
have
crew.
loved
You
to
know,
see. I would have loved to see the casino episode. You know,
we can't
where-
have that because that's offensive, Danny.
You know,
Some people have gambling problems, and this
I
is modern
don't-
TV. So
Oh,
nothing
I'm sorry,
offensive that
you
could
know.
hurt anybody.
Of course not. But you know, Honky Tonk Women was a great episode. So
Donka
same thing with the Ganymede Sea Rat Terrorists eco group. I mean, I didn't mind that they switched the bioweapon to like people forming into like trees and stuff. Like that was fucking sick.
That was brutal.
But I felt like that episode was so rushed. There wasn't like, I don't know. I mean, that honestly, that episode is personally one of my favorite episodes, in the anime at least. Especially when Maria Murdoch, when they got stuck in the what the fuck was it? Like the hyperspace portal thing, when they closed that up. And, you know,
Are you talking about the
kid-
anime or the live action?
I'm talking about
there?
the anime. I'm talking about the anime.
Okay. Because I remember that in the anime, not in the live action though.
Yeah. When they get stuck there, you know, then the ship stopped and the fucking DNA shit virus comes out of her pocket, and then it like that's when she realized like that whole scenario was definitely super important, and it shows how you know, sneaky Spike is with pickpocketing and everything like that. So it was just super sloppy, and I kind of want to like it, but at the same time I just really didn't. And it's
Sloppy
really
is a
sad.
good word for it.
Yeah, luckily, Danny, we already have a live action Cowboy Bebop, and it's called Firefly. So go watch that.
True stuff.
I mean, that's fair. If I were to give a final thought on it, I would just say, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just was.
That was the
It's-
longest
it's-
final thought ever.
My brother and my cousin say this all the time about the Star Trek movies. You know, the one with Chris Pine, and
With
Zachary
Chris Pratt?
Quinto or whatever.
Oh yeah, wasn't John Cho in those too?
He was in those. He was
Yeah.
Sulu. Yeah.
That's why this is a bad show, because he's in that one.
So my brother and my cousin Sudi and Mario, they say this about those movies, and I agree. They're like, if it wasn't called Star Trek, these movies would be fucking cool.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, but like, that's probably how they feel about Cowboy Bebop, to be honest.
That's like
but,
Star Wars too. They do the same fucking shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah, everybody should just go watch Altered Carbon instead.
Dude, I feel like a conservative now. I'm like yelling at all the new shit.
Tom, have you seen Altered Carbon?
No, I have not seen Altered
Holy
Carbon.
fucking shit. Watch the first season of Altered Carbon.
But like, yeah, no, I just, as soon as I saw that it was gonna be different, I just kind of was like,
Listen,
all right. I'll
I
enjoy it.
I expected it to be different, but I did not expect this. Like, I definitely had.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I had an open mind with this. Like,
I expected this.
When I saw, you know, costume design and everything like that, I even went to YouTube and put a thread on, like, you know, why.
You left a comment on the
Faye's-
YouTubes?
Why
You're a
fucking
comment
Faye's
leaver?
costume?
Oh
Yes.
God.
Danny's a dirty comment leaver.
When when people were like literally bad mouthing, like, oh, why isn't Faye sexy in this adaptation? This and that,
First
and
they
the
take the
third.
sexy rabbits from us, and then
So-
they take the sexy Faye.
Yeah, where's Lola
But-
Bunny?
I don't know. It's just
Hasn't COVID taken
like I
enough from us?
literally, like I said in the beginning, if you're not an anime watcher, this would probably look really fucking cool. But if, you know, you are an anime watcher and you have watched Cowboy Bebop, the anime, you definitely very disappointed
This is
and everything like that.
This is like, honestly, this is like exactly the same quality as every other Netflix show. Now that I think about it.
Netflix has plenty of really high quality shows.
Okay, so out of the stuff
Like
that
Netflix originals
has
are all
produced-
right about this level.
So
That's
so
really just not
compared-
true, Nick.
I'm
Some of
gonna
them are.
say
Wait, which ones are
Some,
better?
but you're saying all. Like,
Okay,
that's
Squid Game was
ridiculous.
better. Squid Game was better.
Narcos.
So I'm gonna say this.
Terrace House.
I am much rather.
I like the anime Terrace House better.
All right, Danny, please make your point.
I
Oh, it's
much
okay, I'll just-
much rather watch this again than watch the Death Note movie.
Oh, Death Note's
Oh,
at least
that's
short.
yeah, that's fair.
Death Note had the most punchable characters I've ever seen. Holy shit.
yeah. So, Kwoka and Nick, do you guys got final thoughts or
All right, give me 20 minutes, and I'll give you my final thoughts.
no? You got 1 minute.
I fucking forgot what I was gonna say.
I just think it was, fine.
It's okay, but it was okay. Okay, so
Fine. Better than most anime.
All right.
I mean, yeah, because most anime is kind of bad, but it's like
Not as good as Wakaba Girl.
true.
Take a shot. Kwoka mentioned Wakaba Girl.
Okay.
Wakaba Girl's dope, man.
You have like the original Cowboy Bebop, which is like, honestly, it's probably like the best TV anime. It's probably like Evangelion is up there and some other ones, but like if I had to recommend it, just Cowboy Bebop. Especially if you're American and you have that filthy individualism that we all have. That's what Cowboy Bebop is partly about. But then it's got some Asian influence too. It's like Zen and stuff. Then you got the Netflix version that's like, let's just put it this way. It's an IGN 7 out of 10. AKA they don't know what score to give it. It exists.
And that's all we've got for you today, cowboys. Go out there and get yourself some Moolongs and
Get yourself
So
a
if you wanna
bunch of
give-
double dollars and Woolongs.
I give it.
I didn't give it a 7 out of 10. I gave it an IGN 7 out of 10.
I
Take
give
that
it
as you will.
I give it just an average 6.5 oolongs out of 10 is what I give it.
That's like a quarter of a cent.
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I thought I liked the campiness, and I thought it was a pretty fun ride, and I didn't feel like I wasted my time at all. I mean,
I think they should have filmed the whole thing like they
It's fun
did
to
The
talk about,
Mandalorian with the Unreal virtual set thing.
maybe that would have been better.
Or like
who
a
knows?
green screen or something?
No, they used
Hey, the set-
they had actual. The Mandalorian was filmed where they had actual screens that had Unreal generating the CG based on the camera's position, so that everything would still be in camera. Like when you watch The Mandalorian, almost
okay.
all of that is in camera. It's not post. You're seeing exactly
That's
what
crazy.
the camera saw.
That's crazy. Yeah, I thought the set design of Cowboy Bebop was super sick. I loved the towns and shit they made. I thought it was super dope. And the inside of the Bebop is really cool too.
They look
But
cheap,
anyway.
but I think that felt right.
Scores.
Okay, original
Scores?
Cowboy Bebop, 11 out of 10. One of the best
Yeah,
pieces of
I
media
think we all
ever
agree.
made. Period.
Yeah.
Anime or not anime, everybody watch it. This Cowboy Bebop, the Nick score is like a 5 out of 10. And it's okay, but, that's it.
Okay. Kwoka and Danny.
Better than Sword Art Online.
All right.
No, it didn't have Asuna. Asuna raises this. It's pretty close.
This Faye is still more attractive than Asuna.
No way. Nobody's more attractive than Asuna.
Nick is 2D over 3D, Kwoka, you gotta remember. Danny?
5.5 out of 10.
Well, you heard it here last, guys. That's it for this episode of the Anime Summit Podcast. See you later, Space Cowboys.
You're gonna hold on to that burden.
You're gonna carry that weight.
Yeah, that was my adaptation of it.
Oh, okay.